Good evening. Tonight is Monday, December 16, 2019 at 6 p.m. This meeting is at the Neil Shapiro Auditorium at Winthrop High School and is recorded live. Ms. Hames, you please call the roll.
Mr. Fabiano?
Yeah.
Mr. Martucci?
Yep.
Ms. Powell? Present. Ms. Swope?
Present.
Mr. Vecchia?
Present.
Mr. Perrin?
Here.
Mr. Capabianco?
Present. President Vecchio, please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Was that an echo? That was a time delay. Yeah.
Vice Chair Perrin.
I'd like to make a motion that we take the agenda out of order and do the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship recipients first.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Perrin, second by Mr. Martucci. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, the ayes have it. Motion is adopted. The John and Abigail Adams Scholarship is a merit-based program that provides a credit toward tuition for up to 8 semesters of undergraduate education at Massachusetts State College or University. For this scholarship, merit-based is a student scores on the 10th grade MCAS comprehensive assessment test. The purpose of this award is to award and inspire student achievement, help attract more high-performing students to Massachusetts public higher education, and provide families of college-bound students with financial assistance. Eligible students score in the advanced category on one of the 3 high school state assessment tests in English language arts, mathematics, biology, chemistry, or physics. Score in the proficient or advanced category in the remaining 2 high school state assessment tests, or have a combined MCAS score in these assessments that ranks in the top 25% in their school district. I know Mr. Crombie and Ms. Howard would like to honor our students with some awards.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations to all of our students, over 30 students, which is a large number of students when you go to Winthrop High School. So congratulations to each and every one of you. We're going to make you super uncomfortable and ask you to come up to the stage. Mr. Crombie will read your name and we'll have you come across, receive a certificate, which you can hang up on the fridge when you go home. And admire, and walk across the stage, and some other folks would like to say thank you to you as well. Once we have finished, everyone, we're going to take a brief recess so we can make you a little bit more visibly uncomfortable and take a picture with you. And after that, you're more than welcome to stay. But for those of you who have other activities like homework, feel free at the end of that break to go home and get on your homework or any other extracurricular activities you have to do. So, Mr. Crombie, if you could come up. Mr. Crombie will call your name, and once your name's called, just come across the stage. We'll hand you this, and you can go through the line. Yes.
Okay, so first up we have Colby Bossy. Next we have Salvatore Campo. Hannah Capone. Ryan Cody.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Collins.
Some of our students are at athletic events, and obviously we're not able to be here. Just so you know, we'll make sure we get them their awards tomorrow.
Sage D'Amelio. Kevin Dorr. Julie Forster. Sarah Fusillo. Rin Genosi. Patrick Haskell. Isadora Ippolito. Mary Lawler. Jillian Lerner. Samantha Long. Fiona McPhail. Joe Mahoney. Gabriel Martins. Ella McCary. Khalil Mamouni. Michael Morano. Claire Nargi. Andre Openkaru. Arlette Ordonez. Julian Osorio Geraldo. Ryan Parker. Zoe Passeri. Zara Powell. Trinity Rist. Catherine Silva. Isabel Scomro. Sydney Stiglitz. Maria Tracy. Jared Vecchio. Michael Vecchio. Alexandra Vera.
So just a nice round of applause for our winners and scholars. And now we'll take a brief recess and squeeze everybody over here, all of our Abigail Adams winners over here, and we'll take a quick picture with you.
All right, moving on with the meeting, is there any public comment? Who would like to go first? State your name, please.
You can hear me from up here. Vasily Malios, Precinct 5. I'd like to make just one simple comment. In January, when the new town council is put in, we need to continue to fight for the Winthrop Public Schools. We cannot go in, hearing a budget, seeing a deficit of over $300,000 just for level service. The teachers, ESPs, nurses, secretaries, and the school committee need to start fighting now so that we do not see teachers teaching out of certification, not meeting the needs of our students because of resources. We need to do what's possible, and we cannot listen to the town continue to use the excuse of we don't have enough money. When is that going to end? Okay? So we just need to make sure we're all on the same page here, and we would love to work together as far as pushing the town in the direction that we need to be in order to see our schools be successful and our students to thrive at the best possibilities that we can provide them as educators, ESPs, nurses, secretaries, and administrators. Thank you.
Any additional public comment? What's up? Let's call.
I'll speak.
Okay. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Joni Cinderella, former employee. I think it's so despicable and disgusting that a contract cannot be resolved and that they've gone on so long. And it took me leaving a job that I absolutely loved. I come back and I see the kids to make a livable wage. And I am tired of the town saying they don't have the money for what's the most important, police, fire, and school. It's about time that everybody in this room works together and give these people a livable wage, not a 1% that ends up being 20 bucks in the ESP's pocket, but a decent, livable wage so they can continue to do what they absolutely love to do. That's all.
Thank you. Any additional public comment? All right, moving on with the meeting. I'd like to take it out of order on the new business. I'd like to read a statement from the chair pertaining to this issue that will be posted on social media after the meeting. The collective bargaining agreement between the Winthrop School Committee and the Winthrop Teachers Association expired on August 31st, 2019. The committee and the association began negotiations for a successor collective bargaining agreement in November 2018. Negotiations continued throughout the 2018-2019 school year. At the end of the October 2019, the committee and the association filed a joint petition for mediation with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Labor Relations. The committee and the association met on Wednesday, December 11th, 2019 for several hours, with the mediator appointed by the Department of Labor Relations, and there are 2 additional sessions scheduled for January 2020 as the parties continue to work toward a successful agreement. The state mediator advised the parties that mediation works best when the process remains confidential and requests that the parties maintain confidentiality of the issues and dispute the parties' proposals. The committee will respect the process and not comment on specific issues that separate the parties. Members of the Winthrop School Committee deeply value the Winthrop Teachers Associations, our ESPs, secretaries, nurses, custodians, staff, and most importantly, our students. We need to continue to fund our school system well beyond our Chapter 70 allocations, and it is our hope that we will reach an agreement that is fair for our staff, taxpayers, and that is driven towards student achievement. Thank you, signed sincerely, Valentino Capobianco, Winthrop School Committee Chair and graduate of Winthrop Public Schools. Thank you. Any comments from the committee? All right, moving on with the meeting. We'd like to present President Vecchia with a citation regarding his years of service for the town. I'll read the citation. A resolution, whereas Ron Vecchia has served with distinction as a member of the Winthrop School Committee, whereas Ron Vecchia has been a devoted and loyal friend and colleague of the Winthrop Public Schools, and whereas Ron Vecchia has had a strong and positive impact on scores of Winthrop students through his display of genuine concern for young people, therefore it resolved that the Winthrop School Committee would extend its sincerest gratitude and offer our very best wishes for his future endeavors, and let it be voted and hereby known as part of the official minutes of the Winthrop School Committee meeting on December 16th, 2019, and it's signed by myself, Vice Chair Perrin, Mr. Fabiano, Mr. Matucci, Ms. Swope, Ms. Powell, and Superintendent Howard. Do I have a motion to approve the citation?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Matucci, motion by Mr. Fabiano. Any discussion on the motion? I'd like to personally thank Ron. First met him many years ago, but we really became friends when we actually ran for the same position. And we became friends during that. It was a friendly campaign, which you don't really see in politics. And 2 years later, when I was happily the chairman of your campaign, we worked really hard and somehow found up 11 votes that just were there, and we got the vote out. And I tell Denise and Kathy it's because we pulled the checkers. So, thank you, Ron. Really appreciate
Thank you,
this.
James. Thank you, Ron.
Any other comments?
Just thank you for all your service.
Thank you.
Make it run.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, the ayes have it. And take a brief recess to do a picture over here. President Vecchia. All right. Moving on, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 18th?
Second.
Motion by President Vecchia, second by Ms. Powell. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, the ayes have it. And the motion, in one abstention, the motion is adopted. Do I have a motion to approve the December 10th, 2019 meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Powell, second by Vice Chair Perrin. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, one abstention. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Moving on with financial business and procedures, warrant SVW 20-10, the amount of $212,962.91. Do I have a motion to approve the warrant?
Motion.
Motion by Vice Chair Perrin, seconded by Ms. Powell. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the ayes have it. We also have payroll warrant SPW 20-9, the amount of $712,715.13. SPW warrant SPW 20-10, the amount of $714,181.19. Do I have a motion to approve both warrants?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Powell, seconded by Mr. Matucci. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions.
Abstain.
We have two abstentions. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Moving on with buildings and grounds requests, we have 4 requests. 3 are in your packet and 1 came in today. We have the Jessica Gordon's Academy of Performing Arts and Dance Recital. We have the Winark Special Olympics, the Arthur T. Cummins, and the Fort Banks PTO Moving Night, and the Winthrop Elks. There's a Winthrop Elks event for the gym request.
Make a motion, we take them all together?
Motion by Mr. Perrin.
Second.
Second by Mr. Matucci, and I'd actually like to add that we waive the rental fee for Winark to that motion.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We have 1 abstention. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Subcommittee reports. Mr. Matucci, anything on superintendent evaluation?
Just a quick, we had a superintendent evaluation subcommittee meeting, and the goals were distributed to the members, and for their review, and we will come back and take a look at that at probably the first or second meeting in January.
Personnel, Ms. Howard?
Wait, don't we, don't I have a subcommittee meeting report
This is council.
we're supposed to have? All right.
Ms. Powell, you prepared for a subcommittee report?
I am prepared for subcommittee report. We have discussed updating the regulations that would allow, or updating it to allow the distribution of flyers within the school system. Was that not included in the packet?
No, it's in.
It's in.
It's under new business for the first reading, but it can come out of it's going to be coming out of subcommittee, so you should review.
Okay, so basically the report on this is that we had a number of groups that want to distribute flyers. We had a concern that that the schools be fair in who we allow to distribute flyers, that we are being equitable across the board, also that we do not overwhelm the students and do it effectively. So essentially this policy would enable us to distribute flyers twice within a month so that they'll all be coming in at the same time. They will all be approved by the superintendent. The policy outlines the fairness obligations that they need to meet. They have to have certain language included on them. And this would be a pretty comprehensive and fair policy.
Okay.
Motion
We have a motion by Vice Chair Perrin.
to waive the first reading.
Motion to waive the first reading by Vice Chair Perrin.
Second.
Second by President Vecchia. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
Thank you.
Moving on, Ms. Howard, personnel.
So under personnel, this evening we have no appointments. We have no resignations, but we do, and we have one posting for a long-term sub-reading teacher to fill a maternity leave. We have no leaves of absence, and we have one retirement announcement. And I'm going to read directly from the retirement announcement if people will bear with me. After a long and thoughtful deliberation, I have decided it is time for me to retire. My decision to retire has not been an easy one. This is not about me, by the way. I have worked for the Winthrop Public Schools for 34 years, and I have met and worked with some wonderful people over the years and have made many lifelong friends. I want to especially thank Lisa, the leadership team, and the school committees, past and present, for all your faith and support. In addition, I want to thank Patty, Diane, Beth, and Karen, all members of the business office. It has been a pleasure working with you all. I realize how important it will be to have a smooth transition, and I will do everything I can to ensure that this will happen. I will always be available if I am needed for anything. In closing, as much as I am looking forward to enjoying my retirement and spending more time with my family, I will miss everyone and working for the Winthrop Public Schools. My official retirement date will be September 30th, 2020. I would also like to request my sick time buyback. Thank you, Susan C. Eccles, Business Office Manager. Yeah, so this was a hard one to read, and I think as we get closer to September, we will all have quite a bit to say about Susan. For me, I've known Susan pretty much my entire life, but in a working relationship where 30 years of knowing her, 26 of working with her. I can't even begin to tell you what a loss it will be for the Winthrop Public Schools, but what a win it will be for Phoenix and Arcadia and the rest of Susan's family to have her undivided attention. That's not to say she won't be being pulled a little bit by me after September 30th for lots of questions, but the transition and Susan letting us know this early on will allow us to thoughtfully plan out to have someone come on board with us. Susan can't be replaced, so I won't call it a replacement, but it will allow us some time for planning. As we get closer to September, we will torture her a little bit with happy thoughts here on the school committee. But that was Susan's letter to me. I've known about it for a little bit of time and had some conversation with Susan. We probably won't talk about it again until sometime in September between the two of us. But I wanted to read that to you tonight as Susan submitted it to me. And again, it is an announcement of her retirement and a request by this committee at the time of retirement for her to buy back her accrued sick time.
First, I'm sorry to see you go, but I'd like to make a motion that we approve the sick time buyback now.
Motion by Mr. Perrin, second by Mr. Matucci. Any discussion on the motion?
We'll miss you.
I don't want to accept your retirement. 'cause-
Ron already said no already, so.
Yeah.
Do I get a vote?
So, we have a motion on the table. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Thank you, Susan. All right, moving on. I believe that's it on the new business.
The surplus of,
Yeah, Superintendent, how will you explain what the surplus is?
so we have a surplus of a special education van that is, after several looks, no longer repairable. So pupil personnel director Jennifer O'Connell has done some good work in getting estimates to repair it. And at this point in time, the number of folks that have looked at it have informed us that it's not repairable. So we would like to have the school committee vote to surplus that, and we'll do the proper paperwork for the town.
Motion to surplus.
Motion by Mr. Matucci, seconded by Ms. Powell. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the ayes have it, the motion is adopted. Moving on, the chair would like to make a motion to enter executive session.
Tino, can I just ask, just under unfinished business, sorry to jump around, I apologize. The textbook material discard request, I would just like to move that to the next meeting. We're not quite ready for that, to present that to the committee. So I just wanted to make sure we cover that agenda item.
Any public comment? All right, any further public relations?
I have one, and I know Frankie's watching. Frankie Fabiano's birthday is going to be on the 19th. Happy birthday, Frankie.
Happy
Thanks
birthday,
for
Frankie.
continuing to support the Winthrop Public Schools, whether it's coaching, assistant AD, or just keeping my head above water with that awesome smile and conversations we have about how I'm doing. So, happy birthday, friend.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Frankie.
birthday, Frankie. Public relations, President Vecchia. Swoop. Fabiano.
Happy birthday, Frankie.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Frankie.
Ms. Powell.
No.
All right, moving on, the chair would like to make a motion to enter executive session to discuss strategy with respect of collective bargaining or litigation. I also anticipate that we'll be adjourning from executive session.
Motion.
Motion, second by Mr. Matucci. Ms. Hames, you please call the roll.
Mr. Fabiano?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes.
Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Mr. Vecchia?
Yes.
Mr. Perrin?
Yes.
Mr. Capabianco?
Yes, the ayes have it, the motion is adopted.